The fields are green now, impossibly green. Tourist brochures call it the Emerald Isle, and they're not wrong. You stand here in County Cork, surrounded by rolling hills and stone walls older than memory. The land is beautiful, peaceful, the kind of place that makes you believe in fairy tales and ancient gods. But the stones remember. The abandoned cottages remember. And if you listen closely, past the wind and the distant bleating of sheep, you can almost hear it. The silence that came in 1847. The silence of a land dying. Close your eyes. When you open them, the green is different. Darker. The potato plants stretch before you in endless rows, and something is wrong with them. The leaves are curling, blackening at the edges. The smell hits you. Rot, sweet and putrid, like death has learned to grow. It's August 1847, the third year of the Blight. And you are about to experience what it means when an entire nation starves. You're standing outside your cottage, calling it a cottage is generous. 4 walls of stacked stone, no mortar. A roof of thatch so thin you can see daylight through it. 1 room, 1 window. A dirt floor that turns to mud when it rains, and it always rains. This is home for you, your wife, your 3 children, and your mother. 7 people lived here until last month. Your father died first. The potato patch is 20 feet from your door. Your entire existence depends on this small rectangle of earth. You rent it from a landlord you've never met, an Englishman who lives in London and wouldn't recognize your face if you stood before him. The rent is paid in labor, in crops, in anything that has value. The potatoes are what's left. The potatoes are what keep you alive. Were what kept you alive. You walk to the field. Your feet are wrapped in rags because your shoes wore through months ago. The ground is soft, recently rained, and each step releases that smell. Stronger here, concentrated. You kneel and dig with your hands, feeling for the tubers beneath the dying plants. Your fingers close around something soft, too soft. You pull it up and it comes apart in your hands, black mush oozing between your fingers. Phytophthora infestans. You don't know the scientific name. No one here does. You just know it as the blight. It came from America on ships carrying infected seed potatoes. It travels on the wind, in water droplets, invisible and unstoppable. It turns healthy plants to rot in a matter of days, and it has destroyed Ireland. You try another plant. Same result? Another? The same. You work your way down the row, desperately, knowing what you'll find, but unable to stop hoping. By the end, your hands are black with rot. Your nails are caked with it. Of the 200 plants you carefully tended, perhaps 10 have tubers that are still edible. 10 potatoes. For a family of 6. For a week, maybe 2 if you're careful. Behind you, your wife watches from the doorway. Mare, 28 years old, but looking 50. 2 years of slow starvation have carved her face to bone. Her dress, the only one she owns, hangs loose on a frame that's disappearing. She doesn't ask. She can see the answer in your posture, in the way you sit back on your heels and stare at your ruined hands. Your children are inside. Bridget, age 9, Sean, age 6. Little Caitlin, barely 3. They haven't eaten anything substantial in 4 days. Yesterday, Mare boiled nettles and grass into a thin soup. The children cried because it burned their mouths, their throats, their stomachs. But they drank it because it was warm and it was something. You gather the few good potatoes and bring them inside. The cottage is dark, even in daytime. The single window is just a hole in the wall, covered with a piece of old cloth to keep out the worst of the wind. There's a fire pit in the center of the room. but you haven't had peat for weeks. Can't afford it. Can't gather it because the landlord's men patrol the bog and beat anyone they catch taking peat without permission. Your mother sits in the corner. She's 60, which makes her ancient by Irish standards. She hasn't spoken in 3 days. Just sits, wrapped in a shawl, her eyes following movement but comprehending nothing. Starvation does this. Shuts down the mind before it shuts down the body. A mercy, perhaps. Mare takes the potatoes without a word. She'll make them last. She's learned how to stretch nothing into something. A potato cut into 10 pieces, boiled until it's mostly water. It fills the stomach for an hour, tricks the body into thinking it's been fed. Then the gnawing returns, the constant, aching emptiness that's become the baseline of existence. You need to go to the village. 6 miles on foot. There are rumors of a relief station, government aid, Indian corn being distributed. The rumors are usually false, but you have to try. You have to do something, because sitting in this cottage watching your family slowly disappear is a death in itself. You tell Mary where you're going. She nods. Her hand touches yours, briefly. Her skin is cold, always cold now, the body conserving every spark of heat for the vital organs, sacrificing the extremities first. Her fingernails have a blue tint. So do the children's, so do yours. The walk to Skibbereen takes 3 hours. It should take 90 minutes, but you're weak. Everyone is weak. The road is busy, busier than it should be. People moving in both directions, though mostly away from the village. Families with bundles on their backs, whatever they could carry. Evicted, thrown out by landlords who would rather clear the land than deal with tenants who can't pay rent. You pass a woman sitting by the roadside. She's holding a baby. Neither moves. You don't stop. You can't. If you stop for every dead body on the roads of Ireland in 1847, you'll never reach anywhere. The dead have become scenery. Tragic, horrifying scenery, but scenery nonetheless. A man approaches from the opposite direction. You recognize him. Liam, from 2 townlands over. He looks worse than you, if that's possible. His eyes have the vacant stare you've seen on cattle before slaughter. Fever, you think, or dysentery, or typhus. The diseases that follow famine like crows follow carrion. He grabs your arm. His grip is weak, trembling. The corn, he says. There's no corn. The relief station opened this morning, and there were 2,000 people. They had supplies for 200. It's gone. All gone. He laughs, a sound like breaking glass. Then he continues walking, heading nowhere, going through the motions of living, because stopping means accepting death. You keep walking. What else can you do? Return home empty-handed?
We are here.
The children's faces flash through your mind. Bridget, who used to sing, who hasn't sung in a year. Sean, who collected stones, made patterns with them outside the cottage. The stones are still there, covered in moss now. Caitlin, who stopped asking for food. That's the worst part. When the children stop asking, Skibbereen appears ahead. Smoke rises from perhaps half the cottages. The other half are abandoned or burned. Landlords burn the cottages after eviction to prevent people from returning. The ruins dot the landscape like broken teeth. The main street is chaos. Bodies everywhere, some moving, some not. It takes you a moment to distinguish between the living and the dead. The living moves slowly, shuffling, conserving energy. The dead lie in doorways, against walls, in the street itself. No one has the strength to move them. No one has the means to bury them. There's a workhouse at the edge of town, a large stone building that's supposed to provide employment and relief for the destitute. The reality is different. It's a death house, overcrowded, disease-ridden, a place where people go when they've exhausted every other option. The mortality rate inside is worse than outside. But it offers food, watery soup, a piece of bread, enough to keep you alive another day. The line stretches around the building. Hundreds of people, maybe 1,000. Skeletal figures wrapped in rags, waiting. You join the line. The person in front of you is a child, alone, maybe 12 years old. His parents are dead, you assume. Or he's been sent to beg while they stay home, too weak to make the journey. He's shaking, not from cold, from fever. Hours pass. The line moves slowly. People collapse. Some get up, some don't. The ones who don't are dragged to the side. A man with a cart will come eventually, pile the bodies, take them to the mass graves outside town. Protestant and Catholic buried together now. Death has erased the distinctions that life held so important. You reach the entrance finally. A man in a coat, clean, well-fed, foreign-looking, sits behind a table. English, you realize. An administrator sent to manage the relief effort. He asks your name. You tell him. He writes it in a ledger with ink that's probably worth more than everything you own. "Can you work?" he asks. His accent is thick, proper. London accent, the accent of the people who govern Ireland from across the sea, who make decisions about your life without ever seeing your face. You can work, you tell him. You can dig, carry, build, whatever needs doing. You're strong, you're lying, you're weak as a newborn calf. But you'll work anyway because work means food tickets. Food tickets mean survival. He looks at you, this English administrator, and for a moment something crosses his face. Pity? Disgust? You can't tell. He stamps a piece of paper, hands it to you. "Tomorrow," he says. "Public works. Road building. 6 hours of labor for a pound of cornmeal. A pound of cornmeal. For 6 hours of hard labor. In your condition. It's slavery dressed as charity. But it's something. You take the ticket, clutch it like salvation. Because right now it is salvation. You step outside and the world tilts. Your vision darkens at the edges. You haven't eaten in 36 hours. The walk, the wait, the stress. It's all catching up. You lean against the wall, breathe deep. The smell here is overwhelming. Unwashed bodies, sickness, death. The workhouse is leaking humanity from every crack. Someone tugs your sleeve. A woman, old or young, impossible to tell. Hunger ages everyone. She's begging. Her hand is outstretched, trembling. You have nothing to give. You shake your head. She doesn't leave. Just stands there, hand extended, hoping. You walk away. Her image follows you. The journey home is worse than the journey there. The sun is setting, and with it, the temperature drops. You're shivering. Your body has no reserves left to generate heat. Every calorie is essential, hoarded by organs that are slowly cannibalizing themselves to stay functional. You pass a cottage that's burning. Not abandoned. There are people inside. You can hear them screaming. Fever victims, probably. Typhus has a way of making people light fires to fight. The chills. Then they're too weak to control the flames. No one is helping. No one has the strength to help. You keep walking. Darkness falls. The moon rises, thin and cold. You navigate by memory, by the shape of hills against the sky. Your feet are bleeding. You can feel the wet warmth in the rags. It doesn't matter. Pain is just another sensation to be ignored. You reach your cottage near midnight. Mare is awake, waiting. The children are asleep, huddled together for warmth. Your mother hasn't moved from her corner. You show Mare the ticket. Tomorrow, you say. Work tomorrow. Food tomorrow. She nods. Then she tells you. Sean has the fever. He's burning up, shaking. There's nothing to be done. No medicine, no doctor. Doctors don't come here anymore. Too many sick, too much death. The ones who stayed are overwhelmed. The ones who could leave, left. You go to Sean, touch his forehead. It's hot, dry. His eyes are half open, but he doesn't see you. His lips are moving, mumbling, words that make no sense. Delirium. You've seen it before. In your father, in neighbors, in strangers on the road. Mare brings the last potato. She's boiled it, divided it into 6 pieces. 6 people, 1 piece each. You stare at your portion, smaller than your thumb. This is dinner. This is what's keeping you alive. You eat it slowly, trying to make it last. It's gone in 3 bites. The night is long. Sean's fever breaks just before dawn. He's soaked in sweat, shivering violently. But his eyes focus. He knows you. Mare cries silently, relief and despair mixed together. He'll live. For now. But the fever will return. It always returns. Dawn comes gray and cold. You leave before full light. The work site is 3 miles away. A road to nowhere built because the government needs to show it's doing something. The theory is simple. Give the starving work. Let them earn their food. Maintain their dignity. The reality is cruelty. Forcing starving people to do hard labor for subsistence wages is just death with extra steps. You arrive to find 50 men already there. Silent. Standing in a loose group, waiting for the foreman. He arrives on horseback, well-dressed, well-fed, Irish, but in service to the English landlord. A middleman. Hated by everyone but necessary because someone has to translate orders from the landowners to the laborers. The work is brutal. Breaking rocks, moving earth, building a road that will probably wash away with the first heavy rain. You swing a pickaxe. Your hands blister within an hour. The blisters burst. Blood mixes with dirt. You keep swinging. Around you, men collapse. Some get up, some don't. The foreman yells at the ones who don't get up. When they still don't move, he rides over, prods them with his boot. Dead or shamming, he can't tell. Doesn't care much either way. 6 hours. That's what the ticket promised. You last 4. The pickaxe slips from your hands. You try to pick it up. Can't. Your legs give out. You sit in the dirt, breathing hard, vision swimming. The foreman rides over. You're done, he says. Come back tomorrow if you can. Maybe you'll be stronger. He gives you a chit, half ration. 4 hours of work earns half a pound of cornmeal. You take it. Stumble toward the distribution point, a tent. Guards. The meal is measured precisely, poured into your outstretched hands. You cup them carefully, can't lose a single grain. The corn is yellow, hard, ground coarse. It's animal feed back in America. Here it's survival. You make it home somehow. Don't remember the walk. Time has become strange, elastic. Mare is waiting. She takes the cornmeal gently like it's gold dust. She'll make it into stirabout, a thin porridge. Enough for everyone to have a few mouthfuls, enough to last until tomorrow when you'll do it all again. If you can. The weeks blur together. Work, collapse, eat, sleep, repeat. Sean's fever comes and goes. Caitlin develops a cough that won't stop. Wet, rattling, bringing up things that shouldn't be in a child's lungs. Bridget is silent now. Doesn't play. Doesn't speak unless spoken to. Her eyes are too old for a 9-year-old. Your mother dies on a Tuesday. You wake and she's not breathing. She's been dead for hours, cold, stiff. You didn't notice. You slept 3 feet away and didn't notice your mother dying. Mare cries. You don't, can't. There's nothing left inside you to feel with. You wrap her in the shawl she lived in. It's the only burial shroud she'll get. The churchyard is full, has been full for months. Now they're burying people in fields, in ditches, wherever there's space. You carry her yourself. She weighs nothing, skin and bone. You remember her young, strong, laughing. The woman who raised you. Now she's a bundle of sticks in your arms. You dig the grave yourself, shallow. The ground is rocky and you're weak. 6 inches deep is all you can manage. You lay her down. Say words you half remember from childhood. The priest hasn't been to the village in months, also sick, or fled, or dead. You don't know. You cover her with earth and stones to keep the dogs away. Wild dogs roam now, packs of them, turned feral when their owners died or fled. They dig up the shallow graves, feed on the dead. Another horror to add to the list. Walking back, you see them. Ships. In the harbor at Cork, visible from the hills. Dozens of ships, their holds full of grain, Irish grain, wheat, oats, barley. Grown here, harvested here, being exported to England while Ireland starves. Because rent must be paid, debts must be honored. The economy must function even if it functions on the corpses of a nation. This is the thing that breaks something inside you. The potatoes failed. That's nature. Bad luck. God's will, the priest would say if there were any priests left. But this, food leaving while people starve, this is choice. This is policy. This is being done to you. You stand on that hill, watching the ships load, and you understand. You are disposable. Your family is disposable. Ireland is disposable. The empire needs its profits, needs its grain shipments, needs its rents paid. What it doesn't need is you. You go home. You don't tell Mary what you saw. What would be the point? It changes nothing. You still have to work tomorrow. Still have to find food. Still have to survive one more day. But something has shifted. Some last piece of hope has died. Not for survival. You'll keep fighting for that. But for justice, for fairness, for the idea that someone, somewhere, cares whether you live or die. No one cares. Months pass. Winter comes, brutal and cold. The workhouse is full beyond capacity. Typhus sweeps through. Hundreds die daily. The mass graves can't keep pace. Bodies are left stacked outside, frozen, waiting for spring thaw and burial. Bridget develops the swelling, edema from starvation. Her legs, her face, her belly filling with fluid. It looks like she's gaining weight. She's not. She's dying, the body's last attempt to compensate for what it's missing. She dies in February. Quick at the end. Just stops breathing in the middle of the night. Mare holds her for hours, rocking, keening that low Irish death song that's older than memory. You sit and watch. Your daughter is dead. Your mother is dead. Your father is dead. Half your village is dead. And you're still here, still breathing, still somehow surviving. Sean and Caitlin make it to spring. Barely. They're small, stunted. The famine has marked them permanently. They'll never grow properly, never be fully healthy. Their bodies will remember this hunger for the rest of their lives. You hear about the ships. Coffin ships, they're calling them. Sailing to America, to Canada. Overcrowded, disease-ridden, barely seaworthy. A quarter of passengers die during the crossing. But it's a chance to leave, a chance to survive. The fare is money you don't have. But the landlord is offering to pay passage for tenants who will leave voluntarily, clear the land, make room for cattle. Cattle are more profitable than Irish peasants. You discuss it with Mayor. America. The word sounds like a dream, like something that couldn't possibly be real. You decide to go. What's left here? A ruined cottage, a blighted field, ghosts and graves. You've survived 3 years of the Great Hunger. You've watched a nation die. You've learned what it means to be expendable in the eyes of empire. Maybe America will be different. Probably it won't. But it can't be worse than this, can it? You leave in April, the 5 of you. Your name goes in a ledger as one of millions who fled Ireland between 1845 and 1852. 1 million died, 1 million left. An entire nation halved, emptied, broken. The ship is everything they said it would be. Crowded, dark, stinking. People die daily. Their bodies are wrapped in canvas and dropped into the Atlantic. Mare gets sick. The fever. She survives, but barely. Sean doesn't get sick. Neither does Caitlin. They're too empty for even disease to take hold. 6 weeks later, you see it. Land. America. The ship limps into port. You stumble off on legs that forgot how to walk on solid ground. And you stand there, on a dock in Boston, and you breathe. You survived. Your family, what's left of it, survived. Ireland didn't. Close your eyes now. When you open them, you're back. The fields are green again, beautiful, empty. The population never recovered. The cottages stayed ruined. The dead stayed dead. But their story, your story for one day, it matters. Because 1 million people died not from natural disaster, but from policy, from economics, from the cold calculation that some lives matter less than others. The Great Hunger wasn't just a famine, it was a choice. And Ireland remembers. The stones remember. And now, so do you.